What?
What's happening?
Listen, everybody, we are gathered here this evening to talk to the artist known as Problem from Compton, California.
What's the deal?
So, I'm not going to take full credit for this. I'm going to be honest with you. Salas actually gave me the idea because I feel like, it's a conversation we've always had that nobody's documenting our history. I see Elliott Wilson. I see all of these people curating and documenting the culture, classic shit from that side of the world. Nobody's doing it for our side of the world. So why the fuck won't I do it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So before we dive into the Mollywood movement, I do want to say that, I've always told you this, but you are definitely someone who you are definitely someone who has to be mentioned when it comes to defining a sound in this city.
Oh, that's big, man. I appreciate that.
I want to say that not only that, but I also want to say that prior to you dropping the first Mollywood, right before you dropped hold on, let me do this right. Hold on. Coast Classics.
I'm getting a pen going.
You gonna get a pen?
We get over here by this fireplace. It sounds like we finna get in depth.
All right.
I'm gonna get my all the way chill on.
All right. So there we go. We pinned it. So before we get into the first Mollywood, what I do want to say is Problem had a run before this, and then as this run was depleted, I was one of the people who doubted you, and you told me verbatim, you said, I'm gonna have an hour set in the club. Do you remember that conversation?
I definitely remember that conversation.
What year was that?
That was 2011. 2010.
2011? 2011. So 2011, you tell me, hey, Head, I'm going to have an hour set in the club.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we're going to see. And you was like, I'm telling you, I'm going to have an hour set in the club.
Yeah.
And I'll be damn. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely have to tell you that for sure.
You told me that. So then, fast forward, some time went by, and you had an hour and a half set in the club.
Yes, sir. Shout out to LA and the DJs at that time. Shout out to the gang. We got to work.
All right. So I do also want to give you props because I have a list of people that I want to talk to when I'm doing this Coast Classics, right? Talking about the classic projects that you all have put together. A lot of people from the city, a lot of people from this side of the map have put out classic records. Very, very few people have put out classic projects. Bodies of work that I consider to be Coast Classics. Okay? You are in an elite class.
Oh,
right.
Man,
I'm not gonna give away who else is on that list because I'm gonna be talking to those individuals as well on a weekly basis. But that's an elite class to be in. I just want to point that out.
I appreciate that, man, especially coming from you, man. You've heard it all, seen it all, and you've been in the backdrop, in the front, all of it. So to have my project mentioned in anything classic and dope from the West Coast was really the point.
That was the point.
I'm happy about it.
Okay. So shout out to only J-Rock, Mars. I just seen y'all. All right. So before we go to Mollywood 2, I want to start off with Mollywood, Welcome to Mollywood, which kicked it all off. Now, this came out in March. Damn, we just passed anniversary. March of 2012.
Yeah.
Okay. When this dropped, going into making Mollywood, did you know what you was creating at that time, or was it something like it just happened?
Not at all. Not at all. At the time, the Function record was out.
That was fucking shit up.
The Function record with 40's record with me, YG, and Soup, produced by League of Stars. And my whole thing was like, this record is getting so big, I don't want to just be known as the guy on that record, on the hook. You know what I'm saying? And the other two guys at the time, they had their own singles out. So it was like, well, shit, I got to get a tape together. So we really came up with the name like one of the last weeks before actually like doing it. The intention wasn't to call it Welcome to Mollywood or none of that. That's just what we were on. That was our drug of choice at the time. So we came up with the name, and I remember the tape dropped the same day as the Function video on World Star. I'll never forget it. It was like a blessing. Like, you got to see me in this big, huge video, and then if you went to go look for me, I dropped the tape that day. Like, it couldn't have been set up no better.
Because I'm now, obviously we all have our favorites, right? Function, I feel like changed something, not even just in California. Function changed shit for the West in general.
Yeah.
What people don't know about Function is that's a byproduct of a song called Potion.
Right.
And hey, go try to find that. If you're watching this shit, go look up a song called Potion. Okay. Yeah. So when Function dropped and you dropped Welcome to Mollywood the same day, Function was already out, or you dropped it the same. You dropped Mollywood the same day as the video came out, or the song came out.
Yeah, we shot the video, but I didn't know. Nobody knew when it was coming out. The song was out. The song was getting cracking. I think the song Function dropped in January. So it was at that time it was burning up shit, and then none of us knew when the video was coming out, and then I knew that we were celebrating in the studio. Like, okay, you know, Diamond, like, we celebrate everything, so we knew we was getting ready to drop the tape the next day. So we all come to the studio, listen to it, do our stuff, and so then, you know, at midnight, all the new videos used to go up on World Star. So midnight hit, and then we saw the Function. It was me, like, you know, I had the red sweater on. I'm sitting here, like, I was like the thumbnail. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, I was, like, the least known on that song. So it was like, whoa, if you like me on this hook and you had never heard me, well, what am I about to hear from this guy? And then Mollywood is right there for you. A whole taste of what we wanted LA to sound like. It was basically our soundtrack to what we were doing every day, every night. And you were there. You can get it. This shit crazy. Like, even thinking about it, man, just the way the stars was aligned for that shit to work.
So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up because I feel like this is special. Right around that time, you had came to Homegrown Radio.
Mm-hmm.
You came with Bad Luck. You came with Pun.
Right.
And I remember we used to do this thing called Camera Phone Concert, and there was there was no video for a song off the project called Rollin'.
Right.
And we shot the video in Chuck's bedroom for Rollin'.
I remember. Right over there in Inglewood.
And Rollin', mind you, Rollin', what up, Kaz? Rollin', low-key, is my favorite song. Rollin' and T.O., I think, are my favorite songs on that whole project.
From Mollywood 1?
From Mollywood 1. And when that shit, hold on. I'm about to pull this shit up.
You gonna show it? You know you can show it on a little screen on your phone.
No, I'm about to show it right now. So when we shot this video to Rollin' in Chuck's bedroom, he said that shit. Hold on, problem.
T.O. man, T.O. is crazy. That.
All right, so here it goes. Look, this is, and for people who don't know, nope, this has not really been put out there. This ain't really been released. This shit drops. We put this out July 20th, 2012, live from Homegrown Radio in Chuck's bedroom. This is, I'm gonna just say that this is the official Rollin' video. Problem featuring Bad Luck, shot on a goddamn, I think this was shot on a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. Hey, look, here we go, look.
Oh, man. Jeez. Baby. Damn. Slow motion.
And I did it. I'm
Look at your
the
shit,
got me with
lucky.
it, and I'm juicy, fatty on the loose. So I got that Bucky, but I'm better off the goose. And hoes think I'm crazy, cause I like my pussy public. She said she heard I ate the pussy in the club. Fuck. Burn till I'm dead. Moral of the house. I lay down on the floor till I oral in my mouth. It's bad luck, baby. You know the deal. I'm a beast. Before rapper, a man. Before that, I was a freak. I'm
That's
turned up,
crazy.
chilling, I'm geeking, I'm so thorough. I be dives on them, I'm swigging, I'm so cold. 3, 5, 4, and all my niggas on 10. Plus 11, cause I kiss that bitch again. Now I'm with that gin. I'm trying to get a twin. I be rolling, bitch. I'm getting checked out.
We was tired. I ain't shit was going up.
Hold up, I'll be right back. Damn, it's why you looking at me like that. Damn. You know I'm high, that's why she be bitching. Eyes low, hands feeling like it's twitching. Damn, they want hold with it, busting it open. Naked. Now that I wanna see it like I'm loving. Damn, I just bumped into a hater, like gripping, grab the clip in case a nigga got a face. Fight, fuck it, he ain't worth it. Molly, got a nigga feeling perfect. Golly, goddamn, this shit is working. Next line ain't rhyming. I feel like eating pussy.
That's crazy.
Got a bitch all up on my dick. Now I'm gonna make this bitch go and fuck the click. We all
Yeah. Hey, look at the date on this. Look at the date on this.
That's crazy.
This how long we've been doing this shit, bro.
That's crazy.
All right. So that right there, I'll still play that shit in the truck right now.
You just took me back. Yeah, I did it back. You feel me just now. I mean, it's just like rolling.
Bro, listen, I done dropped that in a few functions, and that shit still go up right now. It's the
yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. We League of Stars, man. We was on one. Like we was locked in that studio so much, we just developed our own thing.
Now, on that project was also Are You a Freak? I'm gonna come back to that. But I think the thing to me that stood out the most amongst the ladies, this is the last thing. I mean, T.O. obviously was the big song off of there. But for the ladies, iPhones and bad bitches.
Nah, cheerleader.
As a DJ, I had to play iPhones and bad bitches.
Right.
Now, when you go in and make this kind of project, everything is turned up. Like,
yeah,
everything is turned up, right?
Yeah.
When you making Mollywood, I remember you telling me before, and I think Luck came to the station and we talked to him about it too. This was actually the life that y'all was living at the time. So you were pulling inspiration for the project from what was actually happening around you?
Yeah. The studio, like, they knew that I would get there about 10 in the morning, and I was just in there till about 3 a.m. every day. And when I say I'm in there at 10, meaning the function started at 10:30 in the morning. We had a studio where we couldn't like be loud between the hours of like 3 and 4:30 because somebody was like recording the show. So that was like the halftime. So I would get like a lot of the dirty work done after halftime.
Halftime, that's what y'all called it?
Yeah, well, ain't no telling what might happen. You know what I'm saying? So I would get like most of the stuff to clean up from the night before I would do in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying, tighten up vocals, you know what I'm saying? I'm the engineer mixing the stuff, so.
Okay. So Mollywood, Welcome to Mollywood comes out. It's fucking everything up. Records are exploding. You damn near got that hour.
Oh yeah. For sure.
You go back in, it's the immediate thought, like, I need to do this again. I need to make part 2 of this. Or is it, I need to just score my life again for Mollywood 2?
You know what's crazy? Once we did Mollywood 1, and then like all of like the other stuff started happening, like street stuff started happening, I was double fueled. Like I was fueled by maintaining the run we had with the music, and then it was like, all right, I want to be the best in the city. I want to be the only. I want to. At this point, I'm going for it. I got action at getting it. So I was fueled with, and I was having a good time.
You was having fun.
Like, when you get that first taste of blood, you like, I ain't letting it go. I ain't letting it go. So we went like triple time on Mollywood 2.
Okay.
This time we went in with an intentions of like, okay, we know what we doing this time. That's why you get. It was a lot more girl records. It was a lot of lyrical moments, but we knew that we needed a record off this one.
Got you.
So that's where you get like what?
Got you. That's okay. So Mollywood 2, that comes out. That's the sequel to the first Welcome to Mollywood. This is Welcome to Mollywood Part 2. Now, when this dropped, because I remember me and you having this conversation before, and you said you knew, like you already knew in your mind what this was gonna do. But did you know to the level? Did you know to the level of what this shit was? Because I feel like Welcome to Mollywood, you can't really do Welcome to Mollywood Part 2 without mentioning the first one, and you can't do the first one without mentioning the second one, if that makes sense.
Right. We definitely knew what we were doing the second time. First time, nah. We were just cutting, having a good time. Like, even with the last song, I think one of the last songs on Mollywood 1 is like Freddie Gibbs and is on it, and it's just random as hell because we were just going around picking up records at this point because we knew we had to finish it. But that second one, we knew like, okay, we got this one running. We got this one running the summer. We need to close the summer, and so this one came out. I think August 30th. I want to say.
Y'all came right back.
Yeah, we came right back 6 months later, and then it was like, well,
August 20th.
August 20th.
August 20th.
Yeah, we was like, nah, we know. But the thing was, I had started performing like what before we dropped it at my shows just to see what would happen, and I was just watching it. I was watching. I was like, oh yeah, we got action with this one. I did not know that D2B was gonna do what it was gonna do at all,
bruh.
And I didn't know Take Your Tights Off was gonna do what it was gonna do, but I knew those records were made in like they were in real situations, real time situations. So those usually always work.
Okay, so you had made like what the first song you made off of Mollywood 2?
It wasn't the first song I recorded, but it was the one that I knew like this was the one I like you know when I go record, I just go in the studio, turn on the beat, and I just go. This one was more planned, like me and Bad Luck. Before we had talked about doing like what record while Mollywood 1 while we were doing that, but I just couldn't come up with the right beat. Then one day, like I came early and I just started doing it. I just started playing it. And it came out, and I like did the first verse, and I did the hook, and then I called Luck. I'm like, hey nigga, I did that shit we talking about. He like, save me a verse. I'm like, nigga, you better get up here now. I'm about to do the second one. Then I'm gonna do the third one. If you ain't here, it's gonna be over. Nigga, that nigga got up there so fast because I was getting ready to do the third one. And so once I started hearing it, niggas would be like, hey man, turn that on before we leave the studio. You know how niggas be like, play that one before we go. It's like, okay, we got something here.
So I remember let me see, I think it's Take Your Tights Off. I think that's what it was. When I heard Take Your Tights Off, I was like, ooh, this low key might be the one, right?
Yeah.
Because it was just so like, it was so direct but indirect at the same time.
Yeah, it was a lady that I was trying to get with, right?
Word?
Yeah, listen, we've been working together for like 30 days, and at this time, I had this rule where I'm like, man, I'm not messing with no woman that I work with because I had just seen too many of the homies go down wrong paths with it. But we've been working together for 30 days. I'm like, damn, I want to say something to her. And then like the last night before she was getting ready to go to Atlanta, I'm like, hey, before you go somewhere, I got something I want to say to you. So I went and I turned the screen around and I did the verse. So she was just sitting in there doing what she was doing. She don't know, she can't hear anything. So I did the song in like 15, 20 minutes, and I was basically saying everything I wanted to say to her. And then I turned the screen around and I pressed play. Came out and it was like, boom, what's up? You trying to fuck me? Look. She was like,
yo,
what?
I never heard this story before.
Yeah, she was like, what? I'm like, I mean, you know. And then, you know, we didn't do nothing. She ended up leaving. But then a week later, called me back. I was like, hey, I'm coming back out there. What's up? And then now I have a child with her. You see how that went?
Are you serious? Oh, that's crazy. Why don't I know this story already?
You know, I be keeping my stuff in the cut, man. I gotta save it for the doc. But you my partner, so you
Come on, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to fuck you. Stop trying to lick me. Yeah, I'm trying to lick you. Fuck, take the tights off. Fuck,
Yeah, I don't
take the tights off. Fuck, take the tights off. I'll drop to my knees and just do you like you need to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she had on tights. That's why I was trying to take your tights off.
So that's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm glad we're talking about this shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's the story of Take Your Tights Off, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. The turn up is real.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Boy on the beat. Yeah. Turn up is real. All I can say is that the turn up is real. Red cup, fucked up. Red cup, fucked up. Yeah, the turn up is real. All I can say is that the turn up is real. Yeah, bag of dust, fucked up. Got a bag of dust, fucked up. Yeah, hey bitch looking good to me. Feel like they watching me like a good movie. Baby thicker than a good smoothie. Got a pretty ass face with a big booty. Hey, so with it. Heard about me from your girl, you should fuck with it. Guarantee I put it in, you be stuck with it. Knock it down like a motherfucking truck hit it. Why? TikTok, probably give me some rap, no hip hop. Panties put them to the side like a pit stop. Get wet, I lick every damn drip drop. Why? Title is drip.
All right.
Hey.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's funny.
I was gonna say, bro, when we would drop your shit, like the turn up is real. It was so okay. The reason why I brought that up is because it was certain songs that wasn't the main focus when y'all dropped this shit.
Right.
It shit was just going.
Yeah.
On its own, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I would DJ, I was doing at that time. I'm doing everybody's hood day. I'm doing all kind of shit, right? So at that time when I'm playing all of the music, I'm noticing, hey, I want to hear the turn up is real. Hey, I want to hear D2B. Hey, I want it's always the B-side shit.
Yeah.
That's how I knew this shit was like different. Cause like what was already moving.
Yeah.
But when people was like, man, the girls, hold on, let me go to this shit. Let me just.
That's funny, man.
Here we go.
Girl, what's wrong? My man ain't shit. Girl, what's wrong? My man ain't shit. Girl, what's wrong? My man ain't shit. Why you won't leave? Cause bitch, dick too fine. Dick too fine. Dick too fine. Cause bitch, dick too fine.
Yeah.
Dick too fine. Dick too fine.
Yeah.
Dick too fine. Cause bitch, dick too fine.
Bro, look, you know
that's funny too.
Every time I would drop D2B at a function, the girls would lose their fucking mind, bro.
Dude, that fucking song, that's her on the song right there. That was
her?
Yeah, that's her. That was before we did Take Your Tights Off. That was one of the records we did that 30 days.
Come on, bro.
But
So look, hold on.
I hadn't messed with her yet. So this was a conversation that happened in the studio. You know how Bad Luck get to going. He get to run just talking or whatever. There was a bunch of girls in the studio. And you know, it was like, man, why they were talking about some guy. We like, man, why y'all fuck with him? And then one of the girls like, shit, Dick bomb.
Yo, that's crazy.
So again, you remember how the studio set up? I'll just go turn the screens around and nobody will know what I'm back there doing. So I got the we writing the verse. Oh, what's wrong? My man ain't shit. I'm like, hey, you gotta say this. So she go say that part, she say the hook, and then I do a verse, Luck do a verse, then Luck and me and Luck write her verse for the last verse, the home girl. We couldn't say who her name was because she, you know, was doing R&B at the time. It was like, okay, I didn't want to have her in the mix, but yeah.
So clearly, Dick 2 Bomb was recorded before Take Your Tights Off.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my question to you would be, so Dick 2 Bomb was recorded prior to you recording Take Your Tights Off.
Yeah.
When you was recording Dick 2 Bomb and she said that, did you know that you wanted to get at her at that point?
No, I mean, I wrote that for her to say. So,
gotcha.
Meaning like, no, she was, man, it was totally professional for those first 30 days. Like, it was like, no, and you know, it was tough for a minute, you know what I'm saying? She's good looking girls, but that was my rules, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, at that time, that was like one of the joints we cut just before she was leaving.
Okay. All right.
Because I needed like female voices. I needed like female voices in there. You know, used to be a gang of dudes around. So it would be like, hold on, like in the recording process. Like, I need some
facts.
Voice.
Okay. Other song I want to talk about.
Getting money ain't a motherfucker follow to me. That's your baby, let me rock you to sleep. Bend over, have a cock at the knee. Half screaming like Whaat. In and out of the house like a flock. Schooler than a bullet, need a lock. Camouflage doctors with my Louis Vuittons on. Gotta stick to Cali when I'm changing the time zone. Landing in Miami with the newest LeBrons on. Olympic with my gold niggas getting their bronze on. Cause I'm on.
So the reason why I want to talk about this song is crazy with HBK is because I think you were low key the only person in LA fucking with the bass shit like that.
Right.
At this time. At this time, I mean, obviously E40 and YG had a relationship, but if I'm remembering correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, there was really nobody else in LA fucking with the bass shit like that. And jumping on you and Sue did a project together after that, but I'm just saying like at this time, this is 2012.
Like I was fucking with them because, you know, Stretch had them and Pun had me. But I think YG did Up with them.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, as far as just like involving them and bringing them around and having them, that was my little young nigga.
I'm not talking about a one-off. You consistently from jump. You consistently fucked with Sue, P-Lo, HBK gang, and then it went other people as well. Yeah. Somebody wanted me to talk about Showbanger too.
Yeah, man, I thought
this song is called Perfect.
I like the joint on Mollywood 1 with him. I get a lot of requests for that.
You said what?
The joint on Mollywood 1 with him was going harder than Perfect to me. You a badass. You a bad nigga. Was that nigga show.
This shit hard.
This was my shit right here, bro. Hey. It's a badass. What?
The reason, okay, so this is important to me just because I want to properly document history, which is the reason why I'm doing this. Showbank is somebody that was also on Mollywood 1 who reappeared on Mollywood 2.
Yeah.
From the point where HBK was on Mollywood 2, you've consistently stayed fucking with the Bay.
Yeah.
From that point forward.
Totally.
Because there's, and look, nobody want to acknowledge it, nobody want to talk about it. I'm gonna just bring it up. There's always been a divide.
Yeah, the Function record tore that bridge up.
Right.
Like I was told by the OGs from the Bay and the OGs from LA, like y'all broke the ball. Like it was an invisible wall that was up. And for E40 gets all the credit for that because none of us were signed to him. And for him to make us and put us on his single and take us on 106 in Park, like
on some West Coast shit too.
Credit. Yeah, like and it wasn't no like fake shit, nigga. This was you know what I'm saying? Two niggas from the Bay. I mean, you got to keep that going because you don't want that division. We all California, and then you start seeing it like Sue and them start coming down here, and we start going up there, and then now it's like we all want.
So another song is called "Gotta Get It." This right here, this to me is like classic vintage Problem.
Yeah, I wrote that nigga first.
Hey, the way you get off on this, it's
man,
like my favorite version of Problem.
Nigga, I wrote fifth verse too.
For real?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Why you think?
Because I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I heard fifth verse, I'm like, fifth is busting. Like, bitch, I'm balling. I ain't even playing.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man. I'm like, whoa, nigga going.
Yeah. Don't worry about money. What the fuck do we
That's so crazy. Hold on. Let me go to Problem verse. Here we go.
Hey.
Bitch and a mama max. See you with a bitch that ain't my main and I'm taxing. Dick keep it straight in the perm and relax. Don't care where I'm going, all the money is a pass. OT and paper like a tax. Real ass nigga. Give a fly fuck, give a lame dog feeling. Remember back when I was the range ass nigga. Rather be a maid ass nigga. These days nigga talk, I laugh and forget him. Back in 05, I'd have to homie kill him. Pretty ass G.
Hey.
I push things in by the beat. Fuck y'all like. I push the power lines out. Hustle on the low. Hope my granny don't find out. Cause I'm trying to get out.
Now listen, this is something that I've never told you before.
What's up?
And I was saving it for a moment like this. So on that Gotta Get It song with Young Fifth, I used to hate on that song. The song was a banger. I used to hate on that song because I thought that you was dissing Deranged.
Why?
In your verse, because you was like, some back in I was a lame ass nigga, some deranged ass nigga. I don't remember this part right here.
Oh.
So when you said back when I was deranged ass nigga, fuck that, rather be a maid ass. Now I thought you was dissing.
I said fuck rap, not fuck that.
So for the
meaning
longest time,
meaning like I was in the range, and then like I quit rapping for a minute and started hustling.
So
it was like fuck rap. I'd rather be a paid ass nigga. Like yeah.
Bro, when you dropped that song, so when this song was out, me and Fifth used to get into full out arguments because he was like, "Cuz you need to push this song, this you DJ head, you can make it go." I'm like, I ain't got no power, I can't do nothing with this shit. I'm not on. But then we used to have underlining debates about it because I'm like, bro, he dissing Deranged. Like, what is he?
No way.
That's what I thought.
You gotta think. Listen, Deranged Entertainment. Like, I talked to Ed like last week. Like, that's my family, so I couldn't like we're like related. So it's not like, yeah, like it's never that. It's just we end up switching companies and doing a different thing. But no way, hell no.
That's so crazy.
No, I was like, remember back when I was a deranged ass nigga? It was like, fuck rap. I get paid.
Right.
You know, that's up, yeah.
So
I should never do something.
I just told you some shit I ain't never told you before. Fuck.
Hey man, that's all right. That's what this is for.
Okay. So obviously we got Nasty with E40 on the project. Now something that I do want to talk about before we talk about like what is Mollywood with Mike Epps. The reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I told you, I don't remember when I told you, but I remember telling you, you've been famous for a long fucking time.
Oh my God.
You got famous friends that I don't know why people fuck with you, but they do. People just fuck with you. And Mike Epps is on Mollywood 2, which dropped 8 years ago.
Right.
Mike Epps is also narrating your newest release, A Compton Story.
Yeah. Well.
You've been rich and famous for a long time.
Listen. You want me to tell you how that happened?
Yes.
Now,
I do because I'm low key. I was also jealous of that. How does nigga get Mike Epps on this goddamn mixtape?
Let me tell you what happened.
Mike Epps was the nigga.
Listen, I knew you know, being around Snoop, you would see Mike all the time. That nigga crazy or whatever. He'd be around just telling jokes. Now, remember I told you about that halftime thing?
Yeah.
So at halftime, we would go downstairs to smoke. So I'm standing outside smoking, and you know, it'd be traffic on that street that turns into Ventura. It'd just be like traffic sitting out there around 334. Nigga, I hear Picture Me Rolling loud as hell. I'm talking about super loud. Who the fuck playing that? And the car get close to us, and the nigga mad dog me. And I'm like, I look, like, Mike? He like, Prime, what's up? The nigga hit a U-turn. He like, nigga, what you doing over here? I'm like, my studio up here. He like, nigga, who in there? I'm like, look, the homies. He said, Bird in there? I said, yeah. He said, man, I'm out for the pull up. The nigga parked, got out, came upstairs. He like, man, he started bagging on luck. We chilling. I'm like, hey, man, I'm working on Mollywood too, man. You want to say some funny shit? He's like, man, well, let me get in there. He said that shit and then got off. He just happened to be going down.
Mollywood in my world means you lace front wearing bitches with them undone root canals, feeling entitled with C-section scars riding around in a glass house cutlass. You bitch. You ain't got no real plates. You got a motherfucking cardboard in the back of the window that say lost place. LAPD gonna be on your ass, bitch. You going to jail. That's right. Violation of probation. You will be back in the penitentiary, carpet munching on them young bitches. Molly world. Get you a Molly. Get out how you live. That's on your knees, bitch.
Why do you think Picture Me Rolling is playing in the background?
Oh. I didn't put that together.
Right. Yeah, he was banging that shit loud as hell. Like, I wouldn't even know it was him if the song was so loud.
Listen, bro. First of all, Mike Epps is a goddamn legend. Okay.
Man,
second of all,
Mike, man, appreciate, man. He made my fucking short film hilarious, man. He got Compton Story going crazy, man. He always just pops in and just shows love to his brother.
Anyway, back to my narrative that I'm painting you with this brush with. You've been rich and famous for a long time. Mike Epps did a skit on your mixtape at a time where he didn't have to fuck with you. And it's just like, when you, so I'm saying I'm giving you props, okay? I'm giving you props. All I have to say is that when this shit dropped, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was like, wait a minute. I felt like, I mean, me and you've been friends for a long time since I'm fucked up. But I think at this point, like Molly, like, you know, when somebody get a hot record, it's like, oh, that's cool. They got the record. They got one. Yeah. When they get another one, it's like, oh shit, wait a minute. I might have to pay attention. It's harder. I think it's hard to do that with project stuff. Yeah. Which is, in my opinion, what makes Mollywood 2 Coast Classics. Because
Man, I think that we were so locked in on what we're doing, and Pun had the League of Stars. I had access to 6 different producers, and I'm a producer, so I could get their stuff and then produce it to where it all sonically sound the same. B-Boy was young, 16, 17 around at the time. So we had that super young energy around it, which is us, and it was just us, and we were locked in every day. We had a place to go, we had a place to be, and you could just hear it. You know what I'm saying? You could just feel it. We locked in and caught something. It was like lightning in the bottle.
I think also too, like, this shit was like shit that people live their life to. It was the soundtrack. It was the score to the movie that was our life at the time.
Yeah.
So obviously everybody knows like what that was like. I feel like that was like lightning in a bottle, because it was like the right song at the right time, with the right words, with the right street, with the right club, with the right tempo, with the right melody, with the right call out, like you can't recreate that type of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously, like, what came out ended up being one of the biggest songs on, like, period, that was just out independently.
Yeah.
Which I want to know is impressive. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know it take a lot of resources, it take a lot of money and marketing and promotions, and take a whole lot of shit to make songs go. What's interesting about like what, and I mean, we didn't revisit this story so many times, but I remember in the morning, I was just up for no reason. I hear Big Boy going in. Like, I got up in the morning and I'm listening to Big Boy, and he's telling E-Man, run that shit back. Run it again. This Problem record is crazy. I remember Silas hit me and he was telling me the same thing. He's like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, so that's when I called you. I don't remember how early it was, but I remember you was asleep.
Yeah.
Because you be getting in the studio, you be getting from the studio late.
Yeah.
Or early, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You like, what's up, head? I'm like, bro, Big Boy going crazy on your record right now. You need to hit him up. You like, what you mean? Like, I'm like, bro, Big Boy is going in on your record. Like, he loves this song. You need to pull up. You need to go fuck with him. You know, go tell him thank you or something. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how that shit works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you was like, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna get with him. Like, no, and I was more excited than you, I think, at that point, just because
I was probably coming down off them damn mollies at that time.
You was probably too high.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Big Boy is a big part of why I'm even here, even to this day. Like, he called me and told me he was gonna do that.
Oh, word?
Yeah, and a lot of people used to say that type of stuff back then. He was the only one that, he did it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He said, that's what I'm here to do. I'm gonna blow. That's what I'm gonna do. So just get ready. Watch what I do. And he did it.
That's so crazy. I feel like you made it though when I saw Diddy. I saw Diddy on his jet dancing to like what? And I swear to God, I can call you and ask for and borrow $1 million.
Shit, man. You wasn't the only person that thought they could ask me for $1 million around that time.
Now, a part of this process, was anything surprising to you throughout the Mollywood 2 project? Did anything surprise you? Like, you knew what you aimed, you knew what you was going in there to do, you knew you had a record, you knew it was gonna be a big record. Did anything surprise you throughout this process?
Yeah, I mean, actually execute. I mean, you just be saying that shit and you don't even know what the target. You think you know what the target is, but you really don't have a clue of what you're aiming for. It just sounds good. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But to actually achieve that to where we on 106 in Park, and I'm doing New Year's Eve shits, and I'm doing pre-award. Like, man, that was crazy for us. Like, we were just some dudes in the streets trying to do something positive with the money and with the image, and just trying to do something different than what was being depicted at the time, man. It was all about tough gangbanger shit. And for us to come through with a whole party vibe, but like on some grown G shit, man, it resonated in a way that I never would have imagined. I mean, I like my cocky side to be like, yeah, nigga, we knew what we was doing, but realistically, nah, man, I didn't. I mean, looking back at it now, I wish I'd have known what we was doing, because I'd have handled it a lot different. Just with just a lot of the stuff that happened, the internal stuff, the stuff outside of the studio, like the bullshit that ended up happening, and just in warning to be one of the ones for the city. But if you could have told me that I was gonna be one of the headliners from Powerhouse, nah, not off of this mixtape. Nah, I never thought that.
So that was surprising to you.
Yeah, that I was like, okay, like when I made Powerhouse, I was like, all right, for sure. But my slot in Powerhouse, I was like after Future. It's just like, oh shit, this is crazy.
He said I was after Future. I don't want to go after Future.
And then for them to do the next page, the write up for the show was a big ass picture of me.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the LA Times, a big out of all these artists, you got Chris Brown, you got Ty, all these people, and it's me sitting there. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, that's what dreams are made of.
That's fucking dope, dog. That's dope.
My nigga G Principal said, is that why you fell off?
Hey, so I'm not even reading the comments because I don't want to get sidetracked. But to sum it up,
mm-hmm.
I know what makes this shit a classic to me. Mm-hmm. From Problem, what makes this shit a classic to you?
That it was independently done. Shout out to Bird. That we really did this ourselves. Like, there was no fucking label help. There were no label perks. There was no fucking swap outs for some bigger artists. There was no hating done. It was just pure us being us and doing what we loved, and the people fucking with it. Like, we didn't care about nothing but the streets fucking with
That's
it.
true.
We didn't give a damn about nothing else. It was like the streets needed the streets. And for the streets to embrace us the way they did, man, it was beautiful.
I feel like also when this came out, it was the turn up young shit from an adult perspective. Does that make sense? So it wasn't like jerk music. It wasn't an evolution of jerk music. It was a commercialized. I mean, it was not. It was a fun street music.
Right.
If that makes that's how I look at it.
That's what it was. It was fun street music because the sound was fun, party, get loaded, have a good time. But the look and demeanor was, don't come over there fucking with them niggas. That's crazy. So it was a great balance in it that where we were approachable fun, but we wasn't like, let's go over there and try to fight them fun. Like, nah, them niggas ain't goofy over there. They ain't nothing.
Yeah, look, so I just want to say, I always tell you this. I hate talented people like yourself. Just because I'm not talented like that and I don't have no natural abilities.
Man, you are talented, man. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not talented in that way. I can't just go in the studio and make an album like you. You can go in the studio. I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but you can go in the studio by yourself, write, record, sing, do the hook, make the beats, mix and master, and by yourself. That's different. Man, you're a different type of person.
Well, I just love music, dog. I just love it. I love making it. It's been therapy for me. It's been a relief for me. It's kept me out of so much trouble. So, like, I just dive into that shit in a way that I wish everybody did. I'm happy to still even be here. You know what I'm saying? Especially, like, listening to all that stuff and just like, damn, man, nigga really went through that. And I was high as fuck during a lot of that shit. And for me to be sitting here sober, you know what I'm saying, healthy and blessed still. Wow, that shit's dope, man. That shit's super dope.
So a Compton story is out now.
Yeah.
Go stream that. Go download.
Short film Compton story out now. We got Don't Be Mad at Me out right now. Right now we gonna try to keep y'all in a positive space during this whole Corona situation. I wish people stay their punk ass in the house. I wish everybody listen. I don't want you guys to have to lose a family member.
Facts.
For you guys to take this seriously. It's very serious. For those that don't believe in like conspiracy, they're all the conspiracy things and all that. Let's just go with the real life shit. Always follow the money. When the money stay at home, you should stay at home. We watched 7 different billion-dollar companies stop. And when I say $1 billion, not a year, $1 billion a month companies say stop. If that don't scare you, nigga, it scares you.
It scared the fuck out of me. But yeah, goddamn it, I appreciate you, my nigga. Thank you for your time.
Nah, this was super fun, man. I haven't heard them fucking songs in so fucking long, dog. Like, that is crazy.
You never go back and listen to your old shit?
I never was that guy. Like, I never was the play my shit to myself guy. Like, I listen to songs and I do the songs, drop them, and like, okay, let's get to the next. Let's get to the next. Let's get to the next. Because that ain't what it wasn't for. Like, it wasn't for me. Like, the songs are not for me. They was for whoever was doing what they were doing to have a good time with it. My job is to make sure y'all having fun and just me keep doing it. That was my job then. My job now, as an older person in rap, is to show y'all how to get through that shit. Because if y'all was getting high with me, man, that means y'all hit some bumps, man. And this new age is gonna show you how to casually get through that and still smile and have a good time.
Well, I appreciate you, bro. Turn up, my nigga.
Appreciate you too, dog. Hey man, y'all make sure y'all support my brother DJ Head in everything he do.
This shit hard. Remember this?
At like 11 in the morning.
Wake up, get dressed, get hot, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, wake up.
Wake up, get down, yeah. Hey!
Yo, I appreciate you, bro. I'll talk to you in a minute.